Welcome to the Scott Townsend Show, brought to you by Dietzo Man Productions.
Hey, this is Scott Townsend, and you're joining the Scott Townsend Show. And today I have with me a special guest, Ann-Janette Webster. She's an actress, musician, songwriter, singer, wife, mom, community leader. Welcome to the show, Ann. Or AJ, or what do we call you? Ann-Janette, AJ?
Ann-Janette, it's kind of a mouthful. It's 11 letters and a hyphen, Scott. Okay, so you can go with AJ if you want.
Get the hyphen going. So how's everything this December after this at the end of this crazy year?
Wow, it is, I love Christmas and I love December. It's normally ultra chaotic. I play, a ton of Christmas concerts or shows, some Christmas parties. And I love that because I get to be around people and share music, but it can be exhausting. So to be honest, this calmer December's been kind of nice in some ways. I've enjoyed it.
So I'll just tell them,
we'll just tell them what's up. Technical difficulty.
So I had Ann-Janette put some headphones on. We had a little echo there going on for a while, so I think it's better now. Thanks for doing that.
Hey, you're welcome. I look cooler with these in, right?
You're hip,
yeah.
You're
That's
hip.
what they do on the Tonight Show. They always have those on, and then they're like talking with Jimmy Fallon. It's just like that this morning.
It is funny because before COVID, everything was New York, LA, polish, and then they had to go back to their house and produce their show from their house. I mean, it's like kids in a camera, making a show. It was rough, it was raw, and it was. I thought it was cool.
I know, me too. It's interesting that you say that because I think I mentioned before I'm a musician, but my husband and I have a film and video business, and so this year. So Scott, this was crazy. So we've done this type of work for I won't say how long. But we have done zero work with our company since March 14th of this year. Is that crazy? And it was. So anyway, we won't go into the financial joys of all that. Anyway, pretty much we found out real fast that everything we do is non-essential and requires people in groups. And so it's been an interesting year for sure. But it's on the film and video side of what we work on. We have no idea what our industry is going to end up looking like post-COVID. So because what we do is sort of your high-end polished type productions, if that makes sense, where you have a crew and, it's going to look professional.
Right.
But people are so used to now interviews like, you and I here on Zoom or whatever, even on the Tonight Show, that we wonder, will there be any place for, higher production value stuff or not? So I'll let you know.
As far as being creative, you're used to really solving problems, and creative people, I think everybody's creative. Some people just don't realize they are.
I absolutely agree. Everyone is creative. Yeah.
And so, those who flex that creative muscle, like you and Jay, a situation like this, embracing the remote, what I like about being remote, the good thing that came out of this was I've interviewed this never would have happened last year, but now I've interviewed like the Southwest Airlines pilot that landed the 737 and sucked the person halfway out the window a couple years ago.
Wow.
Dan Cockrell, former vice president of Magic Kingdom at Disney.
Wow.
Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney, founder of Folds of Honor, and he just finished a golf course with Jack Nicklaus. And he's a fighter pilot and author and all this other stuff. And I've talked to people like you and just people from all over the place.
Yeah.
And I can do this right here in my little studio, so to speak. And I can talk to people all over the world, basically, and create a show, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought, what am I going to call it? And I thought, well, the Scott Townsend Show, I guess. I can't think of another name. And it sounds so pretentious, but
no,
because I couldn't think of another name.
Okay, but you know you have like a super great name for broadcasting, right? I mean, that's like, because I mean, you could have been given the name, you know, Ralph. I don't know, Smith is okay, but so Scott Townsend though, that has like a good broadcasting quality. This is Scott Townsend. I mean, like, right?
Sure, I'll go with that.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you're good at it too, but your name is really working for you, Scott. I like it.
Did not know that. Thank you very much for that. That was worth the whole conversation right there.
Okay, good.
You're creative. Your family is so creative. The Christmas album, Let Your Heart Be Light, your music that you write, the shows that you do. We're doing, and you know the children's book that your husband wrote, Jay. The Bird and the Moon.
Yes.
And your movie Lovetown. What's it like seeing? You know, I was at the premiere of Lovetown.
Scott, you were?
Yeah, so we were almost not going to get in. They were turning people away, you know, and telling everybody there was a huge crowd there.
Oh wow!
And so Celeste and I were there, and we thought, well, I guess we're not going to get to see it. And then I don't know how we got in. Somebody pointed at us and waved us on in, and so we got in, and we had to sit on the front row. There was only 2 seats down in the very front, you know. So we sat on the front row. Oh, those are the worst.
You got a crick in your neck.
It was great. It was like everybody's friends are here, you know. And it was Lovetown is the name of the movie. If you haven't seen it, you can see it on, I think it's Vimeo or something right now.
Yeah, on Vimeo for sure. Yeah, thank you for coming. That was so nice of you guys.
Yeah. Well, it was a fun experience. What's it like seeing your face on the screen?
It's the worst. Like, okay, so when so this is terrible to say, but I know a lot of musicians would agree with me, and probably a lot of people who've done any acting. When you said you wanted to talk about the Christmas album, and I said I went and got it back out to listen, that's really true, because I don't listen to my own stuff, and I feel like the songs are a gift, and I'm proud of what I did, but I don't go back and listen. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so I was at my parents' house the other day, and Dad had the Christmas music playing in the background, and I was like, Dad, I'm going to need you to turn that off. We tend to be critical, really critical of ourselves. And even though I'm proud of the work I put in and all of that, you can, if you let yourself, you can pick it apart. But seeing yourself, oh my gosh, the worst. So, in fact, when we did our little switcheroo here and I got my headphones in, Jay came in and fixed it for me, because I was looking at myself and trying to talk to you before, and that was terrible. I was thinking I had some like boogers or something, but I think we're good. Anyway, but no, it was when you introduced me when we started and you said I was an actress, I'm like, what? I think he got the wrong bio. So, I grew up doing acting, but a lot of people, if you're a musician or you grew up in doing, you know, musical theater and stuff, especially in little city where I'm from, there were so many opportunities. So we all did stuff like that. But when it came to Lovetown, which was a screenplay that my husband wrote and then he directed, it was just an independent film that we did. It actually started as a stage play, and I had written the music for it. Yeah. And so when we went to do the film, it was, in a weird way, it was just easier for me to play the main character and sing the songs than it would have been to cast someone else. And so I feel like I got by on the acting. I actually
you did great.
Oh, thanks. I used to do a little bit of stage acting, but musical theater is like, hey, hello, my darling, woo!
Right.
Which is like my personality anyway. So I actually bought a used book. I ordered it on Amazon, and it said how to act for the screen. And it basically was like, take this and chill it way down. And so most of the acting you do with your eyes and your facial expressions.
That's right.
So that's really hard for me because, as you can tell, I'm kind of a joyous individual, Scott. I had to really
tone it down,
chill myself down.
Right.
But anyway, no, I don't think I've seen the film since I was forced to watch it on the big screen during that premiere.
Wow, that would be you would either love it or hate it, I would think. If I saw myself on the big screen, it would either be really good or it would be really bad.
Do you go back and watch your podcasts ever, like with your family, if they say, Dad, let's watch this one, or not really? Yeah. So you would just,
well, here's the reason why is because I'll edit and I'll edit and I'll edit, and I will have seen this interview probably 30 times because I go through it. Do this, do that, tweak it, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
So by the time I publish it,
you're tired of it.
Just don't
You're
want to
going
go.
to hate me. You're going to totally hate me after this.
No, the whole purpose, the other purpose of this video is to bring people like you and give you, you're the star, you're the celebrity, this is your time. It's a way for me to help others. Not that you need help, but it's a way for me to give the time to others, this is your time for the next 30 minutes to an hour. You're the celebrity. So,
that's so nice. I love it. And I'm glad to be here. I mean, it's, I do lots of different things in my life, but if someone were to ask me, and they will oftentimes, what is it that you love if I got to do the thing I very much love the most, it would be songwriting.
As a little one, well, now I know that you have become my mighty one. So help me follow your star tonight. Help me follow your star tonight. Help me follow your star tonight, and I will come. It's so hard for me to imagine you there in a cold and distant place. If they'd only known you were the one for the ages, they would have gathered to see your face. Help me follow your star tonight. Help me follow your star tonight.
So that must be what happens. Now I'm going to have to turn my man card in when I admit this, but
It's okay.
Celeste and I'll say it's her fault. She got me watching Virgin River on Netflix.
Oh, I've heard about it, but I haven't. Is it good?
It's pretty good. It's a soap opera, pretty much what it is. But
I won't tell her you said that.
oh no, she knows.
Okay.
But at the very end of the show, they always end with some kind of song that I've never heard before. So that must be what they're doing, is they're syncing a song that the songwriter wrote.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That is exactly what it is. And so, for instance, the song, I think we talked about this earlier, the song, I Had Too Much to Think Tonight. So, it ended up being sort of a don't know, a lot of the stuff that I end up writing ends up in sort of an alternative kind of pop vein of music. So it's kind of artsy sounding. So I have a song called, I'll have to send you some of the non-Christmas stuff. I have a song called Superhero. And it's kind of, the cool thing about producing songs is that you have the song, but how you dress it, so to speak, could be completely different. You can have one melody and you can produce it as an electronic dance song.
What's it like being in the Midwest? All your compadres, colleagues, they're all on top of each other in LA and New York or Nashville, and here you
right.
are.
And after this year, migrating back to the Midwest where it's safer, right?
Right. Yeah, they're all coming to you now. So you were the smart one to begin with.
I know it. It's been interesting. There's so much upside to it, and so my husband Jay and I, we both work in creative fields, and people just expect you right away when you get done with you get done with college, and they're like, well, where are you going, New York or LA? And you're like, the Midwest. I'm just going to stay right here in Oklahoma and come back. And they're like, what? So it's kind of, it's interesting because a lot of our compadres, like you say, we're Nashville, a lot of for music. So I've got friends in Nashville, and some of them have really had some great successes with their careers. We have a friend that actually just had a short animation feature get released on Disney Plus. Awesome. I was like, well, good for him. I mean, so some are making it, so to speak, and some are struggling, just like we have. It's just that we live in this beautiful little city, and we have an amazing house and space, and we're able to travel, or we were able to travel, Scott. We haven't been anywhere in so long. But anyway.
We went to Tulsa the other day, and that was a huge,
woo!
Yeah, living on the edge.
Isn't that funny? So we used to but with travel and media, like, what we're doing, and technology, we are really able, for the most part, to do anything that anyone else can do. I would say the challenge to the Midwest, or not being in one of those, metropolis areas where they have a big entertainment industry, is it can make making connections harder. And I hate to say this, but I remember when we first started out, saying, well, we're going to be right here. We're going to be here in Oklahoma, and I think we can do all of these things. And we have been able to do all of these things. However, what they say about knowing the right people, I never wanted to believe that. But I mean, you can have some really great stuff, but if you don't have a connection and you don't have an in, it does make a difference.
Yep.
That's born tonight.
I looked, and there before me was a great multitude that no one could count. From every nation, tribe, people, and language, they were standing before the Lord, wearing white and singing.
So lay aside each earth.
Well, Ann-Janette, thanks for joining us today and talking about your Christmas album, Let Your Heart Be Light. You can find it on iTunes, or is it CD Baby?
Yeah, that's right. iTunes, CD Baby. It's also, Pandora, Spotify, any of the places where you get your streaming music. You should be to find it for sure. And there's always the old Ann-Janette.com, but my name's so hard to spell, Scott. That never works out.
Got to get the hyphen in there.
Hey, it's a hyphen with a capital J for the second name. So you have my mom to thank for that. Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It was such a great, it was great to get to chat with you and get to talk a little bit about the music. It made my heart happy. So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So for anything that we've mentioned in this show today, I'll have the link in the show notes down below, either on YouTube, the YouTube channel, or on iTunes, or wherever you get or listen to your podcasts. So check that out. And so for Ann-Janette and myself, thanks for watching the Scott Townsend Show, and we'll talk to you later.
Joy, 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 joy to the world. We're singing joy, joy, joy to the world. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations.
The Scott Townsend Show is a Dietzo Man production. For more episodes, visit the Scott Townsend Show YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.